Ooh, Collective, y'all get in here because I don't know what it was about this reading that they didn't want me to put it out there, but I'm saying everything interrupted this reading. And I do mean everything. It went from my husband talking to me for about 30 minutes, even after asking me what was I doing. I'm like, I was about to do a reading. That's so many hours ago. Then my mom just was in here for like 2 hours more. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Then I finally get her out of here and I have to do research on this person who I'm collaborating with, and it's just something sent me to a whole nother landfill of shit. I have no idea. So I'm going to get into this reading. Ooh, can I talk? Shit, I don't know if I can talk. Um, so I'm gonna try to get into this reading. Yeah, I'm Butterfly Goddess, your spiritual guidance messenger. Yeah, let's do it. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, and your loved ones are in the room. And as I've always stated, all my readings are directed by the Most Highest God. So let's go. Somewhere in 2020, somebody went on their spiritual journey, Collective. And I'm talking about eyes wide open spiritual journey. And I just remember when I was looking at it because it kind of made me think of 2020 and what I was actually going through in 2020. And I think my process of life had just begun for me too. Like something happened in 2020 with me, and a lot of things were occurring at that time. And I know it wasn't all good. So, whoever you are, Collective, we might have had some shared experiences, and I'm not sure where that card went to, but it was literally down here just a few minutes ago. Oh God, hold on. That's odd. I lost the angel number card 2020. Quite sure it's around here somewhere. I don't even want to look for it no more, but when I paused the video, it paused exactly on 212. I don't have a freaking clue. So, being that I kept getting interrupted, I wrote a lot of it down, but I'm going to use the cards too. But y'all know how I do. Channel message, still read the cards the way that it came out. So someone went on spiritual journey, began in 2020. You were stuck in the matrix and you were stuck in your head. So a lot was going on with you at that time, and I'm being led to tell you what was going on with me. I think in 2020, I was just, fuck. I was just trying to move and like literally, I don't think they want this in my ear. Hold on. Shit. Oh, I wish you would. No more pain and no more sorrow. This don't feel. Wish it was more time I could. Okay. I can't make this shit up. So they wanted me to take the ear things out of my ear. As I was doing that, the song just started playing during the video, and I tried to come back. And so the song is by Anthony Q called Still Here. So, wow. I'm going to try to get through this. I played that specific song when both of my aunties died. I believe we're working on year number 2. Or 1 year, I'm not sure. I'm so confused because grief is not a part of my journey. I don't bask in it, and I don't stay there because I had a really hard time when my brother died in 2002, and I didn't grieve well. So, right. So somebody might have lost someone in 2020. That might have been the reason why you went on your spiritual journey, or your spiritual journey started in 2020, but then a lot of grief occurred where you got knocked off the road, off track, because you were in such a having a heavy, hard time, carrying a very heavy heart around, not able to, no coping mechanism skills. There's really no way to really tell a person how to grieve. I just know that you're not supposed to stay there very long. And in the beginning, I never really understood all of that, but I do now. So I know how to regulate my nervous system when someone in your family passes away. You know, got to give it all to the Most Highest God. All right. So you were stuck in the matrix. You were stuck in your head. You had a lot of burdens placed upon you. And you were a very hard worker at that time because you were faced with a lot of challenges and definitely a lot of obstacles. Why this phone just tell me my husband's on his way home? He almost here. Shut up. Anyway, you were at the mercy of other people. And I feel like people weren't really on your side, on your team. At least they weren't. They just weren't on your, they weren't being who you needed them to be for you in that moment. And you were unaware of your own potential at that time. So, you know, you were probably literally in like the 3D frequency or something because so your journey has began and had began and you had to spend a lot of time in recovery, which also lets me know that you had to, you know, heal a lot of childhood wounds, because recovery, honestly, to me is about, you know, fighting against what was going to cause some type of ailment in you, fighting against what they considered the norms, but it really wasn't normal. And but you had to find all this out along the way, you know, like things we thought were normal that we thought happened in other households weren't really happening. You know, what happens in this house stays in this house shit. Anyway, so you had to spend a lot of time in recovery because of the weight you carried on your heart, in your heart, on your heart, left no room for adaptability. So you had even a hard time transitioning and adapting and moving forward. And I'm about to do some breakaways in a minute. Your spirit guides guided your steps right into a healing spirit. So you went deep into deep conditioning and healing. So they were probably mirroring you back to you then. They assisted you with helping you open your eyes to your talents and your gifts. But before that could happen, they had to really, really work on healing you. You had to forgive yourself for things that you did as a child that you never forgave yourself for. So now your world has changed for the better. There will be no turning back, is what I'm hearing. So in 2020, a blue flame was lit up in you, and you have been dancing to your own beats, to your own tunes. In every sense, you really did not know what to expect on this journey. You already felt dead inside because you had been beat down most of your life. So the journey sparked your interest. This journey sparked your interest because I think you wanted to feel alive again, and it sparked your interest and it awakened something inside of you. So something was awakened inside of you. People called you a fool. They called you foolish. They called you naive. They even called you stupid. They were judgmental. They were fear-mongering you. But now they're like your monitoring spirits. They monitor everything that you do. Hold on. I got it. Ah, my leg. Okay. This is ridiculous. It's so much stuff. Okay. So, yeah, my shirt's dirty, so I'm trying to keep the camera off of it. Anyway, Spirit is saying they're glad you didn't pay them any mind because, you know, these people were monitoring spirits and whose bodies and minds were hijacked by a lower spirit or a demonic spirit. So glad you didn't pay them any mind. You know, you are a real, genuine person who loves unconditionally, and you got on the right track. And now your dreams and visions are coming true. And you are being connected with the right people and circumstances and resources. You're walking around with your head in the clouds, and you are at peace. You released all your fears, and you are living or in your bliss season, is what I'm hearing. So, with that being said, this was you at first. This was you. So we got the Death card, we got the Ten of Wands, and we got the Moon. You were in a constant state of fear, anxiety, and depression, all because you had so many burdens to carry. People allowed you to carry all their burdens. They were never offering you any kind of help or assistance, but you were constantly assisting them and offering them help and giving up your time, your energy. And you were breaking down inside, and you just didn't have that type of foundation that you wanted so badly and needed so badly. You didn't have that with people because people didn't have the strength or the courage that you carried to see things through. So you took a lot of things on. I'm hearing you took a lot of things on back then, and yeah, you felt dead inside. You kind of died along with the loss of loved ones. Each yeah, each death in your family caused you to lose some parts of you, like they taken parts of you with them. And at that time, I don't think you had a care in the world about what would happen. If you got hit by a car back then, it wouldn't have phased you, because your life wasn't easy by any means, and you had to struggle, and you had to take on some jobs that were very disrespectful, and companies and employers and stuff that were very disrespectful to you. 808, as I said that. But I think you finally seen the light, or you seen that damn spaceship in the sky. But you seen something that made you want to, change your perspective about this life. You just didn't want to exist in this life. You wanted more for yourself. You wanted bigger and better things. You wanted to see bigger and better things. You wanted to reach farther and bigger places. So yeah, you continued to work and you tried to save, but you had a lot, like I said, you struggled with a lot of different things, such as addictions to alcohol. You had just a lot of bad spirits around you at all times. And like I said, people placed their burdens upon you then, and you would never say no. So you was a yes person back then. But you finally had the option to, walk into a different kind of storm and see what would be on the other side for you. So when that blue flame was lit for you and you had the opportunity to go on your spiritual journey, you was like, yeah, let's try it. I don't know what's going to happen there either, but can't be any worse than what's happening right now. And I feel like that because you already knew you were dead inside, this thing gave you a new life. Gave you a new life. So yeah, and like I said, the year 2020 was out there on a card just like this saying 2020. I have no idea where it went to. Anyway, let me see if it's inside this book. That's weird. Anyway, I guess I don't know what to say. As soon as I say I don't lose stuff, then I'll get to losing all kind of shit. So I'm not saying that. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so it says time to implement long cherished ideals. You're on the right track towards making your dreams and envisions reality, a reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are being sent your way. Happiness and new opportunities are at hand. Trust the process. So you got the 111, and that's a great angel number. So as you going forward, they want you to know that as you were on this journey, you had to do things in moderation. You had to practice to learn patience, and you had to get a constant flow of life, and you had to get clarity about what was what, and all these things seem to have brought you joy, and you're constantly having movement now and self-realization. You're taking action and accountability for everything that you do, and this unconditional love that you have for people is like the most awesomest thing about you, collective. So yeah, moving forward is what we're going into. Like I said, people thought you were the fool because they did not know that change could be a real thing for people. They wasn't ready to see you change, but this change is bringing about you seeing the world now. That you go and see the world, you're going to explore the world because of your ideals and your creativities and your talents and your gifts. You are going to be able to explore the world now. You're going to be able to go on those journeys and travel and visit and see new things. And you're leaving, that world that didn't exist in your heart behind. That one that caused your infrastructure to break down, you're leaving it behind, and you're going to see new things. And that's what the spirit guides are directing me to say, that you didn't only change your life by going on this spiritual journey, but you changed everything. You changed your timeline. You changed how you're going to exist in this world. You're not coexisting anymore. You're not just in the know. You are the know. Everybody wants to know you, collective. You're about to skate through this life like nobody could. And a lot of people can't say the same. A lot of people are out here still bouncing around, confused about what direction they're supposed to go in. But in this message, I'm hearing your purpose, and no one can tell you nothing, because, baby, you dance to the beat of your own tunes. I don't know what consignment means, but I feel like somebody's going to have something to do, that word, something about that word. Maybe it'll come up later. But yeah, so you got the world and the fool. Like I said, again, new beginnings, new change of venue, change. A lot of change is coming. A lot of travel is coming in your soon. Not near future. You're already there, because this is a now reading. A now reading. And I think what happened is that you didn't realize that you carry so much power. I think back in the day, at first you wasn't the person that everybody looked up to, but now everyone looks up to you. But you've always led in a way that you weren't leading, and you've always been that type of leader. But I think what happened was you basically manifested this life in way younger, because you got the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. So in your younger days, you had great thoughts. You had a thought process. You had a process of thoughts that was purposeful, and you had a different type of demeanor. You might have been a little bit of a tomboy. I'm getting you're changing as you age. Like me. I finally get into my feminine era where I really want to be girly and shit, and I like to wear boy clothes and chill out back then, but everything happens to you for a reason. And you're giving out that tomboy essence with now femininity. And if the feminine energy, or if you're masculine, you're finally getting into your feminine energy and really giving that an opportunity, so that you're able to feel and cry without notice. Because a lot of men are taught that men don't cry, which that's not true. You should never teach your boys that they can't cry, because where are they going? How are they going to regulate their emotions when they get angry? And they gotta regulate their emotions. Like, y'all gotta quit doing that. I don't know where it came from, but that's a message and a message. Because girls, we so easily cry, and not all of us, because baby. Okay, I'll get back to that another time, but right now you are standing in your powers, is what I'm hearing. You're standing in your powers, and while you're doing it, you're looking good while doing it. Like, girl, like, sir, you're handsome over there. Ma'am, you're very beautiful over there. You're looking a little sexy over there. Y'all got it going on over here, collective. Yeah, so I think what the challenges is going to be, the challenges for you are going to be like, where am I going to next? I think you're going to have to really, really buckle down and get an itinerary going. And I'm so serious, because I think right now you're feeling real childish. Like, you're in your... Go to my last reading. So if you connected with your childhood self, you're experiencing what a childlike behavior is like. Baby, I want that ice cream, and I want all the scoops. Just put them all on there. Like, you're in that energy right now, and it's a good energy to be in, because you're seeing the innocence, your eyes through your innocent self. When you're innocent, you have all of these, you do stuff. Oh God, and it's like kids, they just do stuff. They don't have to, without thinking. But I don't feel like you're going to do anything harmful. That's not it. It's nothing that would harm you. But you're going to get the calendar together, so that you'll have an itinerary. That's all your ancestors and spirit guides are really saying. They don't want you just going with the flow, like, oh, yeah, seat of your pants or whatever the hell that they were just saying. But I feel like you connected back with your childhood self, and you forgiving yourself, and like you're just in this flowy era right now where you're in like a dream state. I feel like it's going to be either that, or it's going to feel like a dream state, and you're going to feel like a child again, and you're going to make all those good decisions about that ice cream and get all the scoops. But then your stomach's going to hurt, and you're going to remember that was just stupid as shit, but it's going to feel good while doing it. So do it. And you're just going into a higher level of you, because of the connection, and healing all those childhood traumas, and loving on yourself, and giving yourself time and space to enjoy the beautiful things that you see, and you're able to relax. And I think the reason why this relaxation is there now, and this calm, this no, kids are fearless, you know what I'm saying, and this, your ability to be able to say and speak your mind, like in childhood, you know, because kids say the damnedest things. They don't know they saying it, they just say it. And you know, don't break them from that, because when they get older, you don't want to stunt their growth. You know, you want them to be able to communicate in a way that, you know, they know how to communicate. Baby, did you get the, okay, you got the High Priest and the Empress. I'm just now seeing that. And the Six of Cups is what's over there. So it's going to be a lot of celebratory moments for you. The Six of Cups, baby, you're going to enjoy this life. You're going to enjoy this life, this time, this travel, these events that you're going to be showing up to. And I feel like with the High Priestess and the Empress out here on the table, that you're going to enjoy this. You're just going to enjoy this, because this is your life. This is your new life. Your new life is enjoying life and having the freedom to do so. And you're going to be speaking at a very high level to people who are going to love hearing what you have to say. 1818 was just there. So this was out with the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this is where you get all of your bookings, your flights, your travel dates. So that's what I'm hearing. Bookings, flights, travel dates. And then I did say something about speaking, public speaking. So this is definitely somebody traveling to speak publicly. You know, I feel like you have a lot to say. You got a lot of good energy. I think you're going to be a success story, and your success story with your throat chakra is bringing you the prosperity and the abundance, and is going to be liberating, because you were very hopeful and optimistic person, and you believed in yourself. So this enthusiasm and excitement that's coming up for you is coming out very, very fast. You know, I feel like you're going to have one of those magical moments, because you had to go through a lot of different ego deaths before. So you're definitely up for the challenge. And I feel like this is going to be an old happy day for you, because this opportunity is related to your life purpose, and it's just around the corner. So take immediate action once it pops up. Of course, a lovely partnership or an epic romance is also in the cards. So yeah, and that's coming from the 12-12-12. But I seen 212 when I shut this video off earlier. I definitely want to alarm you to the balance, finance, success, wealth cycle that's coming around for you. So again, the numbers 999 is definitely in this reading, right along with 12-12, 11, 19, 19. Could be seeing 222 and 333, and either 1010 or 1001. And don't forget the 2020. But your current circumstances are ending, so you might take advantage of a better one. So yeah, definitely this Nine of Pentacles is definitely part of that 999. Lots of money coming in from all different directions. I feel like it's conversation. It could be business focused, but this is really giving star energy. So yeah, because as you entered a life, it's saying that you ended a series of cycles or chapters, and now you have to make room for this new life, you know, to emerge. It's going to plummet right in on you. These moments are happening very, very quickly. So something about that change is coming in very, very quickly, guys. So just get ready for that. And like I said, I literally was naming off a lot of different places earlier, but just now I heard Canada. That's the first for me. And Swear to God, earlier I was like, childhood me was like, let's go skydiving. Who? Girl, we just got on the plane. Bungee jumping. Oh, God. Every time I think about it, now I don't even know if whoever this collective is, that's probably more you than me, because baby, I'm not jumping off no plane. Anywho, I might jump on a plane. I'm catching flights, not feelings. So yeah, so some of you guys are going to be catching a lot of flights, and you got a lot of travel dates coming up. You need to get that calendar together and get ready for all these opportunities, because like I said, everything that you willed in, everything that you manifested in is already on the way, because you willed in your fortune. And baby, you're getting it all. You're getting it all the ice cream, every flavor, everything with the what they say with the something. What's on top, y'all? The cherry. Shit, that's how long I ain't had no damn ice cream. Like I said, you're finally getting your justice. You're finally getting your equality. You're finally getting that balanced life, that thing that, you know, we all hope for. And oh, the Nine of Cups, that emotional fulfillment, that equilibrium, that peace, that little, that you know what we always call that little bit of peace. You getting a whole lot of it. All right, I love you, collective. Thank you so much for following, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing my videos. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Let me know if this resonates with you, and you do know that this is a timeless message. They all are. So whenever this finds you. Good night. Always say I love you. I do love you, collective. You guys are awesome. And I return your energy back to you.
Hit that bass line nice and slow. Ooh, yeah. Talk box singing, let the rhythm flow. Palm trees swaying, do you feel that breeze? Rolling down the boulevard, feeling at ease. Cruising